I know that you're a Jersey girl inside. 4 a.m. at a diner, stop singing, living on a
And doggone it, people like me.
I'm thinking maybe you're a Jersey girl with all those highlights in your hair. No other girl can move like you. We pump our fist and right, it's true. And I don't care what they might say, they'll never get us anyway. So be my Jersey girl, and take a little ride with me tonight. And let's get dirty, girl. I know that you're a Jersey girl inside. The way you turn it up, turn me on, and then you take it off. Make it hot, make it loud. We'll wake the whole town. Jersey girl, I know that you're a Jersey girl inside. Yeah, listen up. Let me tell you about a girl from Jersey. She was looking so fine with her hips so curvy. I wanna over down and see side lights and a boardwalk fight at the end of the night. Hey, hold up, got a situation, got a condensation from the girl's gyration. She's hot like the girl next door with a tig gold bitties that I can't ignore.
Who the fuck starts a conversation like that? I just sat down.
I'd be a boss, you'd be my muse.
Good morning. This is Shelly, your mouthy mama with Talking Trash and Truths. This is Coffee and Chaos with T3. That's me. It's been a bit, guys. It's been about 2 weeks since I did a stream, and I'm home from the hospital, and damn it, I missed you. I really did. I wasn't going to stream this morning because I was like, oh, I stayed up late because I didn't feel good, and I was like, oh, maybe I'll just take one more day. But no, I couldn't do it. I did tell you guys that I would be back Friday, and I am a woman of my word. Rabbit, good morning. Hello to you. Good day. I have to get back into the whole swing of things. Because apparently I woke up and was like, yeah, let's do this. And then I forgot how to do everything. It's amazing. You step away for a little while, then you look at StreamYard and go, what am I supposed to hit? I forget. Really? Like it took me 10 minutes to write my intro. Excuse me. Yeah, I was in the hospital for 2 weeks because of, my issues. And I came out with a cold. It's great. I refuse to call it anything else because I'm just not testing anything. I don't care. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not seeing anybody. I haven't had the coof yet, and I refuse to say I'm going to have it now. But it's kicking my ass. Rabbit, I hope you're doing well. I think about you pretty much all day, every day. You have been on my mind a whole lot, woman. So I hope that you're feeling that, and that it brings you some type of comfort. You really are loved, lady. And Rabbit said, happy birthday, Connor. Yes, today is my son's 17th birthday. He's not allowed to be 17. He's my baby. I got no babies left. Damn it. That's all I want are the babies. Just the babies. Give me babies. I love babies. Babies are perfect. They really are. I don't care that they cry. I don't care that they poop on themselves. I don't care. You look in a baby and you look in a baby's eyes. There you go. Shall words matter? You look in a baby's eyes and God, the world's okay. You could do anything. You really do feel empowered to do anything for this little fluff. Amelia Sparkles, good morning. So nice to see you again. Can't stay long, but wanted to stop in real quick. Oh, that was so sweet of you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I do. I missed you guys. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to your man-child. My man-child. That's exactly what he is. When his voice first dropped, and I'm telling you, I swear God does things for a reason. Like my dad always said, I will never live through your teenage years. There's no way. And unfortunately, he passed away when I was 13. But when I got older, I was like, well, he did say he'd never make it through my teenage years. A little dark humor because that's me. But he was right. He was like, yeah, no, she turned 13. I'm out. I gotta go. I'll watch her from the other side so I know exactly what she's doing. And not for nothing, but if he was doing that, trying to help me along, bro, you missed some key moments. Key moments. Just saying that you were maybe sleeping on the job. Because everybody's got that friend in their head, I hear. I never had a friend in my head. So I never had that little, angelic voice saying, "Are you stupid? Don't do that." Like, I just didn't have that. Now I have it, and it sounds suspiciously like Winning Reality. Rabbit said hi. She said she's taking it one day at a time. I mean, really, that's the only way we can do it. Sometimes it gets so bad, like I'll feel so run down and I'll feel like nothing is ever going to be different, that I just got to stop. And because it's overwhelming. There's so much emotion there. You don't have any idea what to do with it. And I have to stop and be like, okay, just make it through the next 5 minutes. That's all you got to do, Shell. Just make it through. Just even if you got to white knuckle it, I don't care. Like, I expect better things from myself. And that could be quite disappointing, but I expect great things from other people. So when they let me down, it's crushing. Amelia said, IEP meeting for me this morning. Wish me luck. Good luck. Oh, I hate IEP meetings. I mean, for my son, I used to really hate them. But for my students, I had no problem going to IEP meetings. None. I will fight for those kids like I fought for my own. But with my own, I get emotional, super emotional. And I can get a little testy. I don't know if you all know that about me. I can fly off the handle once in a while. Yeah, nothing huge. I mean, back then it was huge. Now I get mad. People are like, "Oh, you're cute." Yeah, it's like, you're cute. You're a cute little person. Pat me on the head and send me on my way. Back then, no, I was in your face and I was ready to fight all the time. I haven't lost my fight. In fact, I have regained so much fight. It's ridiculous. I want to fight everybody, but for the better reasons, they're not really personal fights so much as fighting for others. That actually makes me feel really good about myself and about the state that the world is in. Because if I'm out here wanting good change for other people, then there's got to be other people out there, because I'm not special. I'm one of many, and I'm just somebody that I hope God uses to get not his message across, but to get his plan in motion, to keep his plan in motion. Because I have to believe that in the end, good will win. I have to believe that all that evil out there, it's just trash. It's just nothing. And that's me. I'm talking trash. I'm talking trash and I'm talking truth. Sometimes they're the same thing. Amelia said he's 14. Should I insist that he join us this time? Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, he should join you. I mean, that's, of course, your personal decision. But there are things that he might think about that he's going to need coming up in high school that you might not, have thought about. Things that are bothering him, things where he sees that there's either too much or too little of something. Katie didn't really attend her IEP meetings because, Katie's very young-minded or whatever. And I made all the decisions anyway. I was just so used to being, high-handed when it came to her, that I ran all those meetings and I made sure that she got everything she needed and whatever. And then when she went to high school, she said, I would like to be there in the meeting. And I was like, okay. what are you going to talk about? She was like, I don't know yet, but I want to be there. Okay. It was very rare that Katie would insist on something. And she went to the meeting with me and we settled everything. Everything was great. And she was like, excuse me, I have a problem. We were all like dumbfounded. We were like, okay, like we just decided your future. What do you have to say about it? And she said, I don't want an aide. Oh my God. We were like, what? You're in a wheelchair. Like, she said, no, see, you're not listening. I don't want an aide. They don't do anything. They just get in my way. They try to do everything for me that I could already do because they want it to be done like right now instead of taking like 2 minutes. She was like, and I don't like it. I don't like being told what to do all day long. I don't like being monitored. Like, I want my freedom. And I was so hesitant. And the teachers that were there and the admins that were there, they were like, oh God, no, you can't do that. And her face just fell. And I was like, you know what? This is important to her. So I was like, we'll talk about it more after school. But for right now, step up and, like make sure this kid, has something. And I did. I stepped up and I said, well, you know what? She is fairly independent. There's certain things she can't do, but in school, that shouldn't be a problem. The only thing that she really needs help with is during like drills and stuff like that. And she wasn't going to be doing that on her own anyway. And an aide isn't going to help her. So I fought for a couple months. We did not finish that IEP for months because of that. I refused to sign it. I absolutely refused. They wouldn't meet me and I wouldn't, they wouldn't meet me halfway. I wouldn't budge an inch. So it was like, all right, I had to wind up calling the county superintendent and saying, listen, they're not doing this. Da, da, da. And then I went over his head and I went to the state. And then I went back to school and said, well, the state's, and they were like, you called the state. You bet your ass I did. You're trying to cover your ass by taking away my kids' freedoms. No. Lady Autumn Sky. Good day to you. She said, happy birthday, Connor, and congrats to you, Shelly. You've made it 17 years. I made it 17 years with him. Katie's 28. So, I mean, I've been doing the mom thing for 28 years. So it's a long time. God, I don't think I've done anything for 28 years straight. Ugh. But, no, I had it. I got them to give her a trial run without the aid for like 2-3 months. And she did phenomenally. And it got to the point where they were like, okay, she doesn't need an aid. So we worked out different fire drill procedures where she would always be covered, no matter where she was in the building. And that was pretty much the only concern. She could get herself from class to class and whatever. They used to call her Speedy because you'd hear, yeah, and she'd just go barreling down that hallway in the wheelchair. She ran over teachers' feet. She didn't give a shit, my daughter. So it was really good for her because for 3.5 years, she had no aid. And she learned that she's got to think on her feet. No pun intended. Like, she's got to be able to do stuff. She can't depend on anybody for help. She had to learn to step up her game. And she did. And she learned to advocate for herself, which for me was the biggest thing. Like I've told you guys before, for her graduation, they didn't want her to go across the dais. They wanted her to go in front of the dais in her wheelchair. They'd hand her a diploma and she'd go and whatever. And I was like, no. Like, I didn't put up with all these years of you friggin' people in these goddamn meetings to have her just, blindly go in front and nobody sees her. No, her ass is walking up there because that's what she wants to do. Because I made sure whatever she wanted for that graduation, she worked her ass off for that. She was going to get it one way or another. I didn't care if I had to sue the world. That child was going to walk across that stage. And they were, it's too high. Lower the dais. You build it. I know the damn carpenter. Are you kidding me? You build the same friggin' thing every year. Build it shorter. Instead of 5 steps, 3 steps, 2 steps, something. It's still going to be raised. There's not that many kids. It wasn't like when I graduated high school. When I graduated high school, there was 260 of us in my class. Just my class. When Katie graduated, there's about 50. So don't go telling me that you don't have the time or whatever. I don't want to hear your bullshit. Like, we're going to make this happen. And I fought and it happened. And let me tell you, every single parent, every sibling, every cousin, everybody that was there at that graduation held their breath while she walked up to that dais with the walker. They held their breath when she went up those 3 steps. The cheering when she got to the top of the steps was, oh my God, it was deafening. And then like everybody, everybody's clapping. She got her diploma and she's all beaming and proud. And she got to the other side of the dais, went, down those stairs without falling. We were all holding our breaths. And like once she made it down the steps, I was like, yeah! Everybody was screaming. I mean, this was outside and it sounded like just the entire football field erupted in applause for this child because they saw how hard she was working. And everybody knew her because everybody that had ever met her said, oh, she never stops smiling. No, she never does. She smiles at everybody. She's always that happy kid that you're like, why are you so happy? She's like, I don't know. I just am. It's like, okay. She's great that way. She gets on my last nerve because she's my daughter. But I see the wonderful things about her. I just don't, I don't let her get a big head. It's one thing to be confident. It's another thing to be cocky. I don't want her to ever take anything for granted because things change so quick. People flip on you. They let you down. I want her to know that there's bad out there as well as good. I can't send her out unprepared. But yeah, that IEP, she never would have gotten to that point if I didn't include her and take into consideration the things she felt was important. Lady Awesome said, so glad I don't have to deal with that IEP anymore. Oh my God. They were the worst. It was just like, when you have to have them right in there, do not contact me unless someone is broken, bleeding, or dead. There's a problem. There's a problem. But that was Connor's IEP. Katie's was never like that. Katie's was like, you need to stop doing things for her. When she falls, let her get up. Let her navigate stairs alone. Don't go get her books. Don't go get her lunch. Like I needed to put all these things in writing so that she would go and do it. Speaking of, can I help you? Thank you very much. I'm live. Goodbye. He's like, oh shit, sorry. Just stand there staring at me. So yeah, Amelia, I guess after that story, you're probably gone already, but including them, it's very important. It can be very important. Just have the conversation with him. Have him there. Let him listen to what goes on. It might spark something in his mind that none of you thought of. And it always helps to have them involved. The older they get, the more involved they need to be. Because this is where I fail so bad. I fail so bad. They have to step up for themselves and you have to step back. And it's the hardest thing to do. It really is. It's so hard to step back and go, but if you just let me do it, just let me do it for you. Yeah, that's great and everything. It's wonderful to do stuff for your kids, but they got to be able to do it for themselves as well. And I mean, I'm not going to be here forever. I won't be here to advocate for them till the end of their lives. And it's a sad realization, but it's nature. It's just the way it works. They're going to have to stand up for themselves at some point. And I make sure that they know how to advocate for themselves. They even do it with me. Because I'm a bull moose in a china shop. So I just railroad like right through everything. I'll steamroll right over you. I don't care. And just because I see the goal and I'm headed that way. So if you're in my way, you're screwed. They're not like that. They're more meticulous about the stuff that they do. And, rather than me focus on their goals, they're focusing on their goals. Do I have to push them? Sure do. Sure do. However, I don't have to push them near as much as I used to. With my son, it's all about, teaching him how to be a man, which is very difficult for me to do because I don't know how to be one. I know how to be like the breadwinner. Whoop-de-doo. I know how to be the provider. Again, not really my job, but it's what I got stuck with. I know how to do all the traditional male roles in a family. Not all. Don't hang me for that. All of you that like to relax. I mean, I still think you need a man in your life, but I didn't have that, and I chose not to have deadbeats sitting around just soaking up whatever attention from me they could. So my kids, they saw me do a lot more than I needed to. They saw me doing the double duty and being the mom and the dad and the breadwinner and the one who takes care of the house. They saw that, and while it's hard to get them to step up to do some of those jobs on the regular, they will do it. I just have to approach it the right way. Winning tends to help me with my son because I don't get the male mentality, how to motivate them to do something selfless. And he does. So, he'll say, why don't you go talk to him about this? Give him something physical to do so that, he feels like a man, he feels stronger, and it does. It helps. It helps. With Katie, it's easier for me because she's a girl and I could just, I can navigate my way around that. I know what she's thinking. I know what motivates her. I know what she wants. With my son, not so much. But I mean, we've been doing a lot better. I've always had a very close bond with my son. I guess maybe because I got to raise him myself. My grandmother had a heavy hand in raising my daughter when she was very little, and I didn't have much say. I resented that a lot because that bond that I should have had with her wasn't as strong because I didn't get the say in what she did. Like I could say, no, she's going to bed now. My grandma would be like, no, she'll go to bed in an hour. She's, watching this with me. I'll bring her to bed, Michelle. I don't want to hear any more of it. And because I was so well trained, it was like, okay. Okay. Because I always listened to my grandmother, well, all right, God, because I know you'll strike me dead for that one. But I didn't always listen to my grandmother, but I heard her. For the most part, I tried to behave. I tried to be a good girl, but some good girls need to be bad once in a while. And I was one of them. I always like to strike out every once in a while, do something a little dangerous, a little reckless. It's more fun when you can do that with a partner. It's a hell of a lot safer and just as fulfilling. But if I didn't have one, then I just went and did it on my own. You might even say I had a little bit of a death wish most of my life. It's funny how when you actually come close to death, you lose the death wish. I'm still quite reckless. I mean, let's face it, it's part of my personality. But the death wish, no, I want to be here. I want to see them grow up. I want to see them take off on their own. I want them to leave me behind. I do. I want them to be strong enough that they could just go and do their thing and be happy and be productive and just be kind. That's the main thing that I've always taught my kids. Please just be kind no matter what happens. Be kind to people because you don't know. You don't know who's going through what. There are people on here who, I talk to every day that at some point I find out something. I'm like, oh my God, you've been dealing with this for this long and I didn't know it. How did I not feel this? How did I not know it? How did I not spot it? Because they didn't want me to. That's their private business. And I don't have a right to it. And when they choose to share things with me, when people share secrets or they share experiences, it means the world to me. It's not that, oh, I know this about, I don't care. I forget it like almost as soon as it's said, because that's the way I've always worked. That's the way the tarot card readings work with me. That's the way most information works. I store it away in this, like, I forgot it folder unless I absolutely need it later. Like, if something sparks out, I'm like, all right, wait, let me go looking for this information. And I have to really rack my brain looking for, like, what do I know about this person that I can talk to them about that'll help them. For the most part, people tell me things and it's just like, okay. Because I'm not going to judge you. I don't care what you do. I don't care what you do. If you're trying not to hurt people, good for you. I'm proud of you. You should always try not to hurt people. If somebody's coming for you and you're, not retaliating, that's your choice. That's the way I go. I would love to retaliate. Oh, I could burn so many people to the ground, completely ruin them. But I don't. And why don't I? Because I don't want to hurt anybody. I really don't. I don't want to hurt anybody. I don't want anybody feeling bad. I want to be left alone. I really do. Just leave me alone. Let me live my life. Let me do my thing. I'm not bothering you. If my existence bothers you, that's a you problem, not a me problem. Rabbit says sometimes nothing helps. It's true. It's true. Sometimes all you can do is hold on and wait for it to pass. And hope. Hope is like one of those double-edged swords. It can keep you going or it could cut you to ribbons. And you don't really know, do you, until you're there, if you can handle it. God, there have been times in my life where the pain between the physical and the emotional were so great that I was like, just kill me. Just kill me. God, just take me, because I can't do this. I cannot do this. You left me out here, in pain, alone, with nothing but just savages around me, just nipping at my heels, trying to get a piece of flesh off of me. And I was just like, please just end it. Just do it. Because I have nothing left to live for. And it never fails. God reaches down, smacks the shit out of me, and goes, you want something to care for? Here. Have fun. And I was just like, what do I do with this? Like, you gave me all this. Now this is a lot. Well, you wanted something to care about. Now you got a lot to care about. So, make up your mind. Like, what do you want? I would rather be overwhelmed with caring than I would desolate in pain alone. Edis, hello, Edis. How are you? She said, hey, babe, retaliation takes too much energy. It does. Retaliation does take a lot of energy. However, I'm very good at retaliation. I'm so good. So good. Because I can outthink them usually. And I tend to know everything. Either I find out or people tell me or whatever. But information just always has found its way toward me very easily throughout my life. And I store it. I don't want to use it on anybody. And I probably never, ever will. But it makes me feel better to know I have that little, that cushion. Cushion for the pushing. Well, they're pushing and I got the cushion. So guess what? If you keep coming at me, I can take it. Just remember, if I turn the tables, you might not have the fortitude I have. Edis, I'm good. How are you feeling, hon? I miss seeing you around the tubes. That's for Rabbit, I'm assuming. Oh, no, that was for me. Oh, that was for me. How are you? Yeah, no, thank God for Discord because you guys, when I was in the hospital, you were all so amazing. All with the messages, that you missed the show and you missed talking and just bullshitting about nothing and, wishing me well. And it felt really good to have people to talk to, besides winning, of course, and my crazy roommate. Because y'all heard about my crazy roommate, right? They put like this meth head in with me. She's not a meth head. Let me not misspeak. She's a heroin addict. Heroin addict. Like one of those real old rocker, like backstage groupie types. And Eris, I didn't Discord you. I prayed for you. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that you didn't Discord me. Every time you saw me in every chat that I tried to like get into, you were like, oh my God, you were totally there. Don't say bad friend. Stop it. You don't get to say that about my friend. No, I appreciated every word and every prayer and every well wish. But yeah, no, I literally was going to beat this woman in the head with my laptop because she got out of her bed like insane. She was like, fuck you. And they're calling me all sorts of names because, she decided she wanted to go to bed and didn't say, hey, could you turn this off or whatever. She was like, you ungrateful, you're inconsiderate. She called me the C word. She called me everything under the book. I was like, are you kidding? And then this skinny 70-pound little crack whore, whatever, jumps out of bed and comes at me. I'm stuck in the damn bed with the friggin' things on my legs. And she's coming. I was like, no, see, bitch. No, my Hoboken came out full. I unplugged that laptop, closed it, and I had it in my hand. I was going to bash her head in. Oh, no. Don't threaten me when I can't get up. I'm worse if I can't move. I did that with my mother when I was in labor with Katie. I wanted something and she was just like, no. And when she got within like arm's distance, I reached out, grabbed her by her hair and pulled her onto the bed with me. And they were like, oh my God, put her down. Don't mess with me when I'm stuck somewhere. I'm 100 times more dangerous when I'm trapped than when I'm free. So don't do it. And this bitch was like ready. And the poor nurses, I got these little like, Filipino nurses and they're running in and oh my God, no. And they tried telling her, be nice, whatever. She just kept going on. And then they finally moved her. They moved her within like 5 minutes. They were like, no, you're done. You're gone. Out. Let's go. And I swear to God, Eris, if you knew what this chick looked like, I mean, oh God, she shit on herself and was still walking around like she was, the queen of the like Mardi Gras or whatever. And I was just like, are you kidding me? I was like, this is this craziness that you put in with me. So because of her, they actually moved me up to the therapy floor faster because they were like, no, like we have all these crazy people that come around here. They have they have pain management issues. That's what everybody says. It's pain management. They're addicted to friggin' opioids and shit. So they show up looking for pain meds. They get admitted and then they go a little nutty because all they're given is Tylenol. And it's just like, so they get mad. This bitch though, she was crazy, like so cray. And I was like, no. So they had to remove her. And they were like, as soon as she went to her, she just went to sleep. But that set off the one next to her who started screaming all night long. And then they put that one upstairs on the same floor they put me. And she was just in her bathroom all day, all night, screaming, help me, help me, help me. They're killing me. They're raping me. And she's by herself. And she's just screaming bloody murder 24-7. It was so nerve-wracking that my doctor was like, keep her on the Xanax. He was like, there's no way. He was like, I'm anxious. He was like, just keep her on the Xanax. It's fine. I never took Xanax in my life except like once or twice somebody would like slip it to me if I had a panic attack and I'd be like, oh, this is right. Like right out. These, I was like, I don't want Xanax. I don't want Xanax. I don't. And Winning's like, just enjoy them. It's fine. I said, no, because then I'm like, I'm sitting here and I think I'm in like this dream world. I'm awake. I was like, this is not how I like to live my life. And he was like, just enjoy it. It was like, some people pay for that feeling, you know. I was like, I don't care. I don't care. I don't like it. Like, oh God, it was horrible. And then I come home with my little bag of, prescriptions. And I'm like, okay, here's, the levothyroxine. Here's this, here's that. Oh my God, he gave me Xanax. I was like, and he gave me like 60 of them. I was like, are you crazy? Like, what is wrong with you? And then he also gave me another anti-anxiety to take just in case the Xanax isn't, it wasn't working for me for that day, called Atarax. Bro, I took one of these the other night thinking, all right, it'll calm me down. I'll, decompress before bed. I'll get a good night's sleep. Good night's sleep. I could barely walk to the bed. I was like, it was like drinking like 3 bottles of wine in a row. Like, I was so gone. I could not speak. Like, I couldn't put a thought together, nothing. I was like, well, those will be my emergency pills. Like, those will be in case I absolutely cannot sleep. They work really well as antihistamine, though, because I wasn't itchy. I developed an allergy to something while I was in the hospital because I itch like all over. And that never happened before. I mean, I used to get itchy when I got tired, but no, now it's if I feel the slightest bit of stress, it's like I itch from head to toe. So a nice little psychological or psychosomatic reaction to my anxiety. Rabbit said, I just waited for Shelly to reach out to me. She knows I'm here for her no matter what. I talked to you. I did more praying for you, Rabbit, than anything. I really did. Because I had a priest, Father Junior, who he visited quite a bit. We talked quite a bit, and he had a lot to say about me and my life. And he was so surprised to see me, and he was so surprised that I was happy to see him that I was like, oh my God, look, you're here. And he had a lot of things to tell me that I wasn't expecting, because apparently God told him quite a bit about me and mine. And he came in knowing, and it blew me away. He definitely brought me a lot of peace when I was in the hospital, especially when I was in quite a bit of pain, because the antibiotics, they work, but they don't work painlessly, unfortunately. And this time they made me super duper sick. I don't know if they made me sick the last time because I was so sick already. You couldn't really tell. But this time they kicked my ass. Like, it was so bad. But I hope they did their job, because I'm tired of having sepsis. I don't want to do the whole, oh, look at me, how cute, falling asleep on stream. I wasn't falling asleep, I was passing out. Again, losing consciousness sporadically is not a good thing. See a doctor if you lose consciousness even once, because you don't know what's going on. I have to schedule an MRI for my brain because they're a little worried. Not overly so. So I'm not really putting much weight behind that. But upcoming the next couple months is going to be quite a few doctor appointments, quite a few possible surgeries. I don't know. I know that my kneecap is no longer where it's supposed to be. It's way off to the side, which makes standing really hard. But it is what it is. I said, oh, for fuck's sake, Shelly. Well, I didn't go looking for the roommate. The roommate just happened upon me. And I dealt with it, as best as I could. I wasn't going to sit there in the bed and just get an ass whooping. No, I will fight back. I'll hit you with the friggin' lunch tray. I don't really care. Rabbit, I'm that way too. Hate to feel like I'm adding on to a pile. Tired and trying not to miss anyone who's reached out in kindness. I'm here for you is my thing. Shelly kicking ass from her hospital bed. I can picture it. And pissed. That would have been primo content. Well, for most of it, Winning was like in my ear for a lot of it. He was like, "What is going on?" But I mean, he could hear how crazy she was. Melatonin is my go-to. Yeah, that doesn't really do much. Really doesn't do much for me, melatonin. It gives me a stomach ache. That's about it. Melatonin is my go-to, but backup is lorazepam, and backup for that is Valium. Prince Valium. 99% of the time, 15 to 25 milligrams of melatonin settles the anxiety. Yeah, see, the melatonin doesn't do anything but make me sick. Shelly T3, I pray for you every day. It's mutual, Rabbit. You're always in my prayers. Most of you guys make it into my prayers. Even people who don't frequent my stream, people who don't even talk to me, make it into my prayers. And mostly the prayers that they just go away. But it's like, oh, I wish them success. Away from me. Just away from me. I'm not speaking ill of anybody. I've not spoken ill of anybody. And yet people perpetually talk shit about me. And I don't appreciate it. I really don't. Because they would not appreciate it if I did it. Edda said, I've been praying for you at Rabbit, and you're a wee one every night. Yes. The priest, Father Junior. So hard to say that in because those two things just don't go together. And I just keep, and he's Junior with a Y. So it's like, okay, Father Junior. But Father Junior gave me a beautiful rosary, a blue marble rosary that he got in Italy. And I used it constantly. It was very comforting for me. The repetition and the sinking into something, getting into the groove and into the mindset of the prayer where nothing else really mattered. I was concentrated on those few things that I needed God to pay attention to, because they weren't for me. They were for other people. I knew I had people out there praying for me. So that wasn't my priority. My priority was being there praying for all those people. And I think that's what life has to be about. If we're going to get anywhere with one another, we really need to look out for each other more, less internalized and more, external. More worried about the family that you've acquired than the bullshit you've acquired in your life. I'm not one for material things. I don't give a shit about material things. I don't give a shit about money. However, if I'm nice and like I lend you money, fuck you, pay me. Don't screw me over. But that's the Hoboken way. Fuck you, pay me. If I have to write you off, I'll make sure everybody knows why I wrote you off. Because I'm not a fool and I'm not getting taken. It's just not going to happen. I said I've been praying for you at Rabbit, and you're with. That's right. I know I reread it. Listen, I got to get back into the groove of things. What I really enjoyed about, and it's weird to say that I enjoyed being in the hospital. What I enjoyed about being in the hospital was the ability to talk to Father Junior, to sit down with him and say, these are my concerns. This is where I'm getting tripped up in life. And he said, I can feel there's a huge conflict in you. What's going on? He's like, because you're a lot more at peace than you were last time. You're a lot more content. And he wanted me to explain it. So I explained how my circumstances had changed. My friend groups had changed. My community, everything about my life was upset as soon as I got home. And within a month and a half, everything was different. And he was nodding his head, just listening. He said, good. Because you weren't meant to have that part of life anymore. That part was over. Those people in your life, that was over. That was meant to teach you a lesson. that was meant to teach them a lesson. They haven't learned their lesson yet, but they will. And yes, they will. But I did learn my lesson. I learned how to differentiate between a fake friend and a real friend. I learned that I don't have to take the blame for everything when things are not my fault. And I learned that sometimes just being silent is the best revenge because you let people hang themselves. Always gather your evidence, which I have, but let them hang themselves. Let them dig their own graves. Don't give them a hand in it. Don't lower yourself to their below par standards, expectations, and actions. Be the better person. And you'll attract better people. There will be people who come into your life who are there for you and you alone. They're not there for what you can do for them. Do you make them happy? Yeah. Maybe. Is that why they come around? Yeah, maybe. But that's a lot less selfless than for monetary reasons or whatever. I would rather hang out with somebody because they make me happy than because they have a really nice car. I know what's important to me. Money is not important to me. Material things are not important to me. People and their intentions. That's important to me. Animals, all these little rescues, because that's what I want in my life. I want to be able to rescue these, poor animals that a lot of them don't have any time left. I want to give them that time. I want to give them whatever time they have on the planet. I want to give them a good life, where they're cared for and they're comfortable and they have little friends that they can play with and they feel loved. That's what I want. That's what rescuing animals does for me. It makes me be a better version of myself because they don't give you back love right away. You have to earn their trust. I have no problem earning somebody or something's trust. I have no problem putting forth the effort because they're worth it. But once you have that, there's nothing like it in the world than to help somebody, to make someone smile when they don't think they can anymore. And it's the same thing for like these damn cats. Last time I came home, they wouldn't talk to me for days. This time I came home, they both put their head out. I was like, no, you're not ignoring me this time. Like I missed you. Fuck over here so I could pet you. And they were, no. I was like, all right. You want weed? Because, that's what I call the catnip. And they were, what? Oh, that's right. Mommy's home. Mommy has control of the weed. They were very happy about that. And, once they realized, okay, she's not leaving, everything was fine. Because for like 2-3 days, those first 2-3 days home, every time I got out of bed or got out of the chair to go to the bathroom, go to the kitchen, right behind me. Like, where you going? Where you going? What you doing? You gonna leave us again? You gonna leave it again? Just very paranoid. And it was like, all right, my kids didn't even miss me this much. Like, what the hell? And they did. They missed me. It's a wonderful feeling because every rescue that I've ever had, they pretty well, except for these were kittens when I got them. But the older ones, the senior cats that I got, the senior dogs that I got, they didn't have much time left on this planet. And I made sure that they were here with all the toys they could want, all the catnip, the good food, the treats, the loves, the cuddles, the little compliments that make them go, yeah, I'm the queen. It's okay. I know. I gave them a home and I gave them all the love I could, all the love I had. And they passed happy. They passed knowing love. To me, that's everything. It's not so much getting the love back, which is, don't get me wrong. It's nice. It would be nice to get back what you give, but that's not always the case. And sometimes that's not your lot in life. I have a lot of love to give. A lot of love. I don't expect it returned the way I give it. That's a hard thing for a lot of people to sustain. And I know it'll break my heart over and over and over again. And I'm cool with that. I can live through a broken heart. I don't want anybody else to. Not if I can help it. Not if I can find the things in them that they need to focus on to feel good about themselves. If I can lift them up, I will. You know, the people closest to me, I rag on them something terrible, and they're like, but they know that I do it because I love them to death. I'm comfortable with them. You know, I can tease them, and I know they're not going to go anywhere. I know they're not going to get offended, and I know they're going to call me if I push it too far, because sometimes I push it too far. I've been known to, open mouth, switch feet. Rabbit said, so glad winning came into your life. It's funny because we struck up our friendship the day I came home from the hospital the first time. Nobody could tell me that wasn't planned by God, because they just took him and just plopped him right there in front of me and said, here you go. Do with that as you will. And I did a couple of missteps, and I wasn't as honest with him as I could have been. And, I participated in some really shady, shitty shit behind his back in the very beginning. And I told him all about it, because it just occurred to me one day, this is your person, dude. Like you're stealing it. He's giving you all this friendship and everything, and you're lying to him. Why would you do that? This is not who you are. And so I came clean and I told him everything. And I felt better, and he's still here. He actually respected the fact that I didn't want to lie to him. Why would I lie? It's nobody's business what I tell him, but I mean, if they say, do you ever lie to him? No, I don't. Number one, I don't like to lie. Number two, I forget, which, hey, that's what happens when they have you on a million different meds. You don't remember the shit you say. Especially since half the time my brain was not connected to my mouth. So they were running independently of one another. But no, I came clean with him, and I can be afraid with him and not be ashamed. I can tell him, the hard stuff. Like when it came to talking about my dad, he was the one that I went to. And I didn't think I would ever trust a man like that ever. How could I? But he was different. He'll continue to be different. He's my kook. Like I wouldn't even begin to know how to start my day without him. My feral cat has finally showed herself. Oh, and is now stalking me. She still doesn't get close. But isn't that amazing? That one cat that I had, it took her a year to come out from behind the bed during the day when I was up. Like, she used to wait for me to go to sleep, and I'd hear her pouncing around and just like knocking shit over, because she was pissed. She was like, I've been behind that goddamn bed all fucking day, and this bitch has been out here like having a. And then one day she just came out, looked at me, and just laid down on the bed. And I was like, hello to you too. And then she was fine. Yeah, she was fine after that. But oh my God, I remember that day so well. I cried so bad because she just looked at me like, humans. Like she was so disgusted with my whole like sense of emotion, and oh God, she's got to be mushy now. Oh, she's gonna pet me. Jeez. But yeah, no, it was, oh God, my Kiru. That was Kiru. She was too much. She was the fattest cat I have ever had in my life. When they brought her here and I tried to pick up that carrier, you pick up the carrier with a cat in it. You're like, you put a little effort into it, but it's not going to be that heavy. And I just went like trying to like pick it up a little bit, and I went like, it was like, oh my God, I couldn't move the fucking box. I was like, wow, how many cats are in here? Jesus, I only want one. They were like, that's one. Stop. I picked that thing up with two hands and some help, put it on the kitchen table, looked inside, and said, holy shit. It was wall to wall cat. She was huge. And I was just like, are you shitting me? What am I supposed to do with this? I don't know how she got that big. I know how she got that big because they kept her in a basement for 18 years. And all she did was catch mice and eat them. So she lived on a very steady diet, but she was fat as fuck. And she was a hunter. And I instantly cut her food like to a quarter of what she was getting. And I bought her like all these different toys that she had to chase. She'd do them at night, like especially the mice. If I threw like those little, the 99-cent furry mice that they have for cats, they do like a little rattle every once in a while, depending on the kind you get. I threw a whole bunch of them into the living room, and oh my God, you thought that like everything was perfect. She was pouncing on them, throwing them in the air. She's beating them. I was like, well, now I know you're a hunter. That's awesome. So after that, all the toys that I bought for her had to do with hunting. Sorry, guys. I am so thirsty. The medicines they have me on. It's like, ugh. I'm just finishing the Cipro. I finished it yesterday. But I'm on like iron pills. So many vitamins. I'm on the turmeric, which nobody told me that after a while it turns your pee orange. Did you know that? Scared the hell out of me. I was like, why not? Oh, okay. I was like, you idiot. So I was taking too much. I was taking the recommended dosage, but apparently I didn't need the recommended dosage. And so I scaled back by like 75%. So I should be good now. This has been like one thing after another. Every time something, it's like all my warranties have gone off at the same time. Every time something gets fixed, something else falls apart. Etta said, my one cat, he's a hard one to live with one hand. Just saying, he's a fatty, fat boy. And he's my bestie. And that was Kitu. Kitu, I only had her for 2 years. Well, no, I'm sorry, 3 years. She came out and then I had her for 2 years. But I had her total in my house for 3 years. She was an 18-year-old senior cat that they were going to have put down. And I was like, what's wrong with it? They were like, absolutely nothing. Then why would you put her down? Well, because they're moving. Fuck that. Bring me that cat. And it was a black cat to boot. Oh, I love black cats. And I already had a black cat. So yeah, they got along. And when I got her, it was just like, oh my God, what am I going to do with this like gigantic cat? And when she walked, her entire stomach dragged on the floor. And if she tried to run and it swung, it would swing so heavy, it would knock her off her feet. It was just like, oh man, like nobody's rushing. Calm down. You're fine. But those last 2 years, I mean, she spent every moment of those last 2 years right by my side every time I was home from work. Very affectionate, very sweet. She lost so much weight. And she lost weight and then she was like a little kitten again, running around doing all these things she couldn't do before. And when she started to go was when I had lost Sheba, my son's cat. And that devastated me. I lost her to breast cancer. And I don't think I've ever cried over an animal that much in my life, not even my dogs, because Sheba was just special like that. She was the most human cat I've ever had in my life. Like she would be right up in my face telling me off if I upset Connor. She would sit there on the table and watch Connor do his homework. And then like if he started getting distracted, she'd knock the pencil out of his hand and he'd have to refocus. She was just good. He would talk to her and she would talk back to him. He would just be so Sheba, and she would like she was just chatter all the time. So I mean, it devastated me when I lost her. And within 2 months, Kitu she wasn't the same. She missed Sheba. She was 21 years old. She was tired. And I could see her fail. And I took her to the vet and he said, yeah, no. He was like, she doesn't have long. He was like, she's not in pain. He was like, but I can put her down. I was like, no, she's going to die anyway. She's going to die home with me where she's happy, surrounded by people who love her. And I did. I brought her home and, I made her as comfortable as I could. And it was right before Thanksgiving. I came home from therapy. I was in therapy extra long because they had an emergency. So I had to wait. And I got home. It was like 5:00 by the time I got home. And I came in and she was sitting there waiting for me. And I was like, hey, girl. I was like, I'm going to go make dinner. I was like, I love you. And she like head-butted me. And by this time, I had gotten the kittens. I had gotten Boo and Luna for Connor for his birthday because I knew that the cat wasn't going to last much longer. And when I got them, she's like, kittens, really? But she would let them jump on her and she like bat them off, but she was never aggressive with them like I expected her to be. There was never a hiss, nothing. She wasn't intimidated at all. She was just like, all right, like you're here. I know you're going to take care of my people. And I came home and she went, she got all her loving from me. And I was like, go ahead, you go take your nap. And she went under the kitchen table, which was her favorite place to go take a nap. She curled up. I went into the kitchen to make dinner. I came back like 15 minutes later and I looked under the table and I was like, it's an odd angle because she had like splayed her body out instead of curling up. Because when I went in, she was curled up. And when I came out, she wasn't. And I reached down, she was already gone. And I was like, oh my God, she waited for me to come home. She wanted her goodbye. And she did. She got her goodbye. She got her, her head kisses. She got the I love yous. And Connor was so upset. And I was so upset. And the kittens didn't know what to do because they were just sitting there just looking at her like, what's going on? Like, she smells different. Like, I don't like it. But I knew that when she passed, she was happy when she passed. She wasn't in pain. She just went to sleep. And that was it. She went to sleep and that's how she went. That's how I want to go. I don't want to be walking or doing whatever. I want to be able to say, oh, I was relaxed and, sleeping and God took me and here I am. But that was kind of a macabre tangent. But that was the whole point for me for rescues. I know I have to say goodbye and I'm getting better at letting go, but I'm also getting better at appreciating the time that I have with them. And I'm trying to translate that more into my relationships with people because I've always gotten along with animals better than people. Animals are selfless. They're unconditional in their actions. They don't sit there and plot against you. I mean, some of them, mine, I swear they do, but they don't do it maliciously. They just like to trip me because it's fucking funny. But it'd be funny if I fucking fall on one of them. I can tell you that. But they do it because it amuses them. They're not malicious in any way, but they're sweet and they're genuine and they deserve my attention and my love and my caring, and they appreciate it. That's what I think is the most wonderful thing about animals, how appreciative they are and how much they show that appreciation even when they can't speak the language. They don't rely on words, so they show you. I wish people were like that. I don't give a fuck what you say. Words are crap. I care about what you do. So like you could say that, I mean this or I mean that to you or whatever. If you're not showing me, then I know you're full of shit. And sometimes people lie to themselves. Maybe you believe it. I don't. Oh, I really care about you. Fuck you. Show me. Words are nothing. They're just sounds that evaporate on the wind. That's it. They mean nothing. Actions memories, feelings. Those are the things that matter. Rabbit said, my little turd was a Maine Coon cat rescue. Oh my goodness. And weighed 18 pounds, all muscle. She was with us 26 years. Jesus, that's one of your kids. Maine Coons, they fascinate me and yet they horrify me. Because as much as I love cats, I don't think I want one that's that big. That looks like, hey, I love you, but I could eat you in your sleep and you would never know it. Like, it's just like, they're a little too wild for me. I like wild things to be out in the wild where they belong, not in my living room. And certainly not sitting on my chest when I'm asleep and vulnerable. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, I made it an hour. I didn't know how long I was going to be able to do this. I am losing. I'm losing the fight really quickly because I just don't feel good, guys. I just don't. I'm feeling better than I did, but this cold is kicking my ass. I mean, it's moved out of my head now and more to the rest of my body. Like it already caused a flare up in my hands. So like I can't make a fist. I tried to open my my body armor super drink because of course I have to stay hydrated. And I couldn't open the goddamn thing. I was like, Connor, can you open this for me? Because I just couldn't do it. I didn't have the grip. I had no grip. Iris got you on in the background, baby girl, but hands in water doing those domestic gotta shit. Yep, I know. See, I'm glad I have Katie to do the dishes. And now I taught her how to do laundry. Little by little, I'm like training them up. But Rabbit said you need to get rest and hydrate. Sleep is the best med we have. It is, but it's also very hard to come by. The thing is, sleep is so hard on my body. You would think that I'd be rested and whatever. No, it's the non-movement. Like if I had the energy to do it, being in movement all day long would be the best thing for me. I just don't have the energy to keep up with that. It takes all I've got to walk from here to the kitchen and back. And that's just because, I don't have it right now. I was talking to Winning the other night and I got super cranky. And he was like, what is your problem? I was like, I'm tired. He's like, then go to sleep. I was like, I don't want to because I sleep so much. I feel like I miss out on everything. And he's like, we're not going anywhere. Like when you wake up, we'll be here. YouTube will be here. Everybody will be here. I'll be here. Go to sleep. Crazy woman, go to sleep. And it's just like, all right, fine. But I don't like it. Sleep is too much like death to me. Yeah, and I talked to that priest and I told him, I said, I was never afraid of dying before. He's like, and now you are. I said, and now I am. He's like, are you afraid of where you're going? I was like, oh no, there's not a doubt in my mind that I'm not going to heaven. What are you kidding me? First of all, my grandmother would never stand for anything else. I was like, and second of all, I don't believe that God looks at me and goes, oh, you deserve to go to hell. No. Like he let me live hell. And I'm pretty sure he's aware of that. And even though I lived through so many different kinds of hell, I kept my heart and I kept my soul and I kept my ability to love. In fact, I think I'm able more to love now than I was ever before because I don't have a lot of those trappings holding me back. I still have the whole not good enough thing. That's always going to be a thing for me. It's a lot of people don't understand like why I do some of the things I do. Like why I automatically assume somebody's mad at me. Because growing up, somebody always was. It didn't matter what I did. They were just always angry at me. It was always my fault. If somebody isn't talking to you for like 10 minutes, they're pissed at you, obviously. There's no other explanation in my head. You have to tell me the explanation. You have to say, I was busy doing something, or I just wanted to be quiet, or we can be together and not talk the whole time. You have to lay those kind of things out for me. Otherwise, they're not a given for me. You know, to somebody else, they may be common sense. To me, that's, oh, something bad is coming. I did something. Somebody thought I said something. Somebody thought I did something. Which is why when people talk shit about me, it pisses me off, because I'm like, no, see, if I earned it, I'll own it. If I say something, I'll tell you I fucking said it. I don't give a shit. If I did something, I'll tell you I did it. I don't care if it's the most gruesome fucking thing. I'll cop to it if I did it. And I will own it every time. Anybody who thinks differently doesn't know me for shit. However, once I cop to it, be prepared for me to call you out on all your bullshit. All of it. And I have a very long memory. I got no problem calling people up and be, you know, you want to put my flaws out there? Let's talk about you. Let's talk about you for a minute. How about that? Let's talk about what I know about you. That's a part of me that's there. That's the part of me I don't like to give into. And I almost never do. Almost never. People have pushed me to it in the last, I don't know, I'd say 5 years, where just betrayal just was too great. The betrayal of my, like, one of my best friends that I used to work with, that was too much for me. It was too much. And we had it out. And I said things to him that I had held back for years. And that pretty much put the last nail in that coffin. Because I was like, you know what? I don't even get why I'm friends with you. You know, what did this do for me besides hurt me? I don't like that type of thinking, because then all those good memories I had with him, they're all tainted. They're all dirty now, because I can't see anything but his betrayal of my trust. When I did everything in the world to be there for him, to lift him up, to make him better at his job, at life. And yet I got hit with labels I didn't deserve. Labels I didn't earn. If I earn it, like I said, I'll own it. But I'm not going to say I did something when I didn't do it. Fuck you. You know, and if you think, oh, she's lying, yeah, whatever. You look at my life and you look at like all my patterns, and lying in among them. Ducking out on responsibility, that's not my MO. I take on too much responsibility. Hell, I hold myself accountable for shit I haven't even done, for things other people do. But because I feel semi-involved, I'm like, no, I'll apologize for them. I'll apologize for all of it. Did I have any control or say in it? No. Doesn't make me feel less worse than words are hard. It doesn't make me feel better that I didn't directly do it. The fact that I knew about it is enough to make me feel guilty. Guilt is a huge thing with me. Come on. I'm a female, I'm Catholic, and I'm Italian. I have the trifecta of guilt. All right. You can make me feel guilty for the friggin' old ass hole in the ozone layer because I contributed to it with my hairspray. Like stupid shit. And then there's the big shit. You know, it's easy to make me feel ashamed, and it's easy to make me feel guilty. Being with you guys, unburdening my soul. And that's what I feel that I do when I talk to you guys. It's not just therapy. It's not for my mind so much as it's for my heart and soul. My mind catches up eventually, but it's the cleansing, it's the purge, it's the, oh my God, I've held on to this for 40 plus years and it's still choking the life out of me. How do I get this out? And I tackled that for months. I tackled that one thing. And then I came here and you guys were here and it was just like, you know what? I can trust them with this. I can trust them not to use it against me. I can trust them not to judge me for it. And you didn't, and I was able to get up here and say all the horrible things without having to go into detail. Like you guys helped me find a way of expressing my fears and facing them without having to relive them, which was something I was not able to do before, which is why it choked the life out of me to try to say it. Because I wasn't telling you something that happened. I was telling you something that was happening. Because in that moment, I was still there. I was still that little girl. That little girl who, by the way, I have learned to appreciate quite a bit. Quite a bit. Jacob, what's up? Wait, which Jacob is? I was going to say there's one Jacob here. But now Lady Awesome has said, hey to Jacob Castro, which means she'll summon him. He'll appear at some point. I don't think you guys will ever understand the impact that you've had in my life with how safe you made me feel, with how welcome and loved and appreciated you've made me feel, and just how hard it was to get all that out. And then to find out that underneath all that was other stuff that I didn't even have the fortitude to look at, let alone like get into. I didn't even know it was there. The stuff about Katie. I didn't realize that was still an issue for me because I'd buried it even deeper than what I had buried about my dad, about my father. It's bizarre how people who were once strangers become family. They become trusted friends. And I don't even know your names. I don't. It's very freeing and very frightening at the same time. Like you have to have the ability to take a huge leap of faith to confide in people and hang with people that you don't know from Adam. You don't know anything really about them. Their entire lives can be contrived and you wouldn't know. Look at my best friend in the world. I don't know his name. I don't know what he looks like. And I don't give a fuck. I like him. I like his ethics. I like his sense of humor. I like who he is. And I'll go to war for him. Y'all have no idea. I will go to war for that man. And I don't need to know his name. I don't need to know what he looks like. I don't need to know any of it. Who he is inside. That's what matters to me. And he's consistent. So it's not that big a leap of faith for me anymore. I wake up and he's winning. Well, I'm winning. My mother was like, but what's his name? Winning. No, really, what's his name? Winning reality. Sometimes he's winning reality. And she's just like, Michelle, seriously, you don't know his? No, I don't. That doesn't bother you? No, it doesn't. I was married to a man who I knew his name. I knew his face. I knew everything about him right down to his social security number. Guess who surprised me more? He did. Because he wasn't who I thought he was. Because I was distracted by the pretty blonde hair and the pretty blue eyes and, the muscles and, the weird name that he had. And it was just like, I was distracted by having his last name. Because sometimes, for some reason, that legitimized, his existence with me. Because now we had the same last name. He gave me his last name. Obviously, he cares about me. Obviously, he's a good person. No, it really didn't work out that way. So I'm not into the shallow parts anymore. I don't give a fuck what your name is. Somebody else gave you that. I don't care what you look like. That's a matter of, life and genetics and the luck of the draw sometimes. And sometimes it's just a distraction. Sometimes it's pretty packaging on an ugly gift. I don't have to deal with all that. I get to see what's inside. That's what matters to me. And that's what I believe in. Lady Awesome. I'm 9 minutes behind because of phone calls and kids. Hey, 9 minutes isn't bad. The other day I was trying to catch up. Oh my God. I tried to watch a podcast. It was like an hour and a half long. It took me 2 days to get through the son of a bitch because everybody kept interrupting me. I was like, are you kidding me? Like, I just want to get through this goddamn thing. Like, this is an important podcast. I need to listen to this. It's part of what I want to talk about. And I couldn't get through it all those days. And I still don't know what it was about. I couldn't tell you one damn thing. So I have to go back and watch it again. Jacob said, morning, lass, even though you got the wrong Jacob. I mean, really, Jacobs are interchangeable. You're both my Jacobs. I love you both. Don't fight. Lady Awesome. Oh my God, I was talking to my kids and wasn't fully paid attention. She said I may need another cup of coffee. I haven't had a cup of coffee. My daughter did not bring my coffee. You know what she brought me? Organic milk so I could take my freaking protein shake. I'm like, really? Because I really could have used coffee. Iris, much love, Shells. Got to go do the things. Hugs, honey. Glad you're back. Oh, thank you, Iris. I'll talk to you later. Hit me up on Discord. I told you the other day, don't wait for me to put out feelers because I'm horrible at that. Just send me a DM and say, bitch, you busy? And then call me. Have a great rest of your day, Edis. Very good. Rabbit, you know me, the old babushka with white hair, stern attitude, but a good heart. Enjoy your day, Rabbit said to Eris. I don't know why I read it like that. Rabbit said at Eris, enjoy your day. Yes, Rabbit, I know who you are. You you are everything I ever wanted to grow up to be. I swear to God, you are a badass. You just, Lord, everybody on the tubes respects you, cares about you, and they worry about you. And that takes a lot because there's so many different personalities out here and so many people not worth knowing. You turn them into decent people. And it's miraculous. It really is. My cat is sitting here just staring at me like, okay, bitch, you're tired. I know I'm tired, but I'm in the middle of a rant. Is that okay? I mean, I don't mean to interrupt your need to take over my seat. That's what she wants. She wants to take over my chair because once I stand up and go back to the bed, the chair will be nice and warm and she's going to jump in the chair and be like, yes, this is mine. If you don't mind ass heat, that's fine. Sit in my seat. I don't care. Everybody's like, oh, it's all warm. You ever notice? Yeah, it's warm because your ass warms the seat up. You're just sitting in extra somebody else's ass heat. Enjoy that warm seat now. I know people that are like, I don't really care. As long as it's warm, they don't give a shit one way or another. But yeah, no, I'm happy where I am in life right now. Always, every day, I'm trying to move forward. Trying to move a little bit more. I have a lot more equipment in my house than I did the last time. And a lot more things that I was able to think outside the box and go, oh, I could just do this. Like I had the hardest time climbing into my bed because my bed is so goddamn high and I'm so goddamn short. And being that it's in the living room, it's a single bed. It's just a twin bed. So there's not a whole lot of room. You know, I'm used to having a full bed, throw myself in the middle and starfish and go to sleep. This can't do that. I'll literally fall out of bed every fucking time. And I was like, how do I do this? You know, like, what am I? And I went and I bought one of those aerobic steps because, you know, they're adjustable for height and everything. They're very sturdy. And I do need to do steps. And I don't have stairs near my apartment where I could do them. I'd have to go like all the way to the end of the friggin' apartment building. And there's no ventilation. I'd die in that fucking stairwell. There are also cement steps with paint on them. Not the, you know, not the most safe for somebody who slips on nothing. So having the step in the house is really nice because I can put the walker and I can up, down, up, down, up, down. And I could do it at, you know, like 2 inches, 4 inches, 6 inches. But to get into the bed, I just put it right next to the bed, step on, and I'm in the bed 1, 2, 3, not a problem. I was like, this was such a simple fucking solution. Why didn't I do it before? Well, because before I had other things on my mind. I was worried about all these different shows and doing this and this, putting out this fire and putting out that fire and trying to stay awake and, you know, trying to maintain all these different friendships that were so goddamn draining. And it was like, I don't have that this time. I'm very focused right now. Like I have my core group and I depend on them for support and they know it. This is not a one-way thing anymore. These are people who I care about, who care about me and who show me that they care about me. And so I give that back. It's an even exchange and it's so much healthier than where I was before. So it gives me a lot more energy, a lot more drive to do better, to be better. Because I want to get better. I want to move out of this godforsaken town. You know, as much as I'm a Jersey girl, I bleed New Jersey. I bleed Hoboken. I'm a Red Wing forever. But I don't want my kids to grow up around what's here now. It's not the way it was when I was growing up. You know, we don't have the old families. We don't have that neighborhood community watch type thing. You know, when my kids leave the house, I can't guarantee they're safe. I can't because it's not the town I grew up in. You know, we don't have the old ladies sitting in the windows 24/7 keeping an eye on everything. Because believe it or not, they kept crime down more than the cops did. Because those bitches didn't miss a trick. We don't have that anymore. You know, if I send my kids out, they're among like all these college age people who are just out drinking and partying and whatever. And they're so entitled and so rude and just, I don't need somebody triggering my son. My son's ready to fight at the drop of a hat as it is. He's got all that testosterone pumping through him now. Like he's just like, when that pandemic started, he talked like this. And within like 2 months, he was talking like this. Like people would call my house and he'd say something. They're like, oh, Shell, you got a man there? We're in lockdown. I'd be like, that's Connor. Are you kidding? No, it is not. That's my son. Yes, I know. The Adam's apple popped and the balls dropped and now he sounds like a friggin' grown ass man. But he was still like 5'2", 5'1". Now he's like 5'10", I think. And he's just turned 17 today. So it's like, why do you have to be so fucking tall? And he just laughs. He goes, you're so tiny. I'm like, thanks. Thanks, Connor. He's like, what? You are? You're so tiny. He's like, you can't reach anything. Shut up. Like he laughs when I sit in the recliner. I can honestly swing my feet. And he's like, it's so funny that I have to swing myself into the recliner because the seat comes up to push me out of it, but to get in it is something different. So I have to like make sure it's like a little recline so that I can like sink back into it. But I have to lift my entire body up with my hands so that I can swing my ass back and land further back because my legs aren't long enough for me to like stand on my tippy toes and like throw myself back. It's the weirdest thing. I know. I'm fucking short. Stop. Nerd. What's up, nerd? Reb said my cold feet always found my husband's ass. That used to, like, when Nick talked about Drex with the whole put your feet under my leg thing or whatever, I laughed, but that's because I do that. I burrow my feet under people. I don't give a fuck who you are. If we're sitting on the couch and my feet are up on the couch, I'm somehow getting under your thigh and your ass because my feet are always cold. Always cold. And I don't like putting slippers on and stuff like that. So I'm like, all right, under you it goes. I'll fall asleep like that. If you warm my feet up, like if you're sitting on my feet, I will just be like, da, 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 da. I mean, as you guys know, not a whole lot keeps me awake. I could fall asleep anytime when I'm not supposed to. It's when I'm supposed to go to sleep that I'm like, nope, no, because my brain is playing, these are your worst moments, greatest hits. Like, it's just, no. Everything that could go wrong in the future is gonna, and here's why. Let's start. Like, that's my brain. My brain is just like this horrible, horrible documentary playing out in front of me, going, this is why you're going to die alone. This is why you're never going to be happy. This is why you're never going to be good enough. This is why everybody else deserves happiness but you. This is my brain. And it's not even my brain on drugs. My brain on drugs is like, duh. It's shit. But my brain on just regular stuff, this is me driving myself crazy. And I know it. I try to stop it. That damn catastrophic thinking. I try to stop it. I can't. And it's just, oh, it's so annoying. I don't like not being in control of my thoughts. That's why I stopped all those damn meds, because I didn't like not being in control of my mouth. Like, to just have thoughts coming out without me actually being in charge of them, that's terrifying to me. That's why I don't drink. That's why I don't do hard drugs. It's not that I wouldn't love the escape. I would love to experience that. I don't know what I'm going to say. And I know too much about too many people to ever be like, you know what? Fuck it. Let the dogs loose. No, that would be terrible. That would be terrible. So no, so I very much stay away from anything that makes me lose control. Because if I can't control my mouth, there's a whole lot of people going to be unhappy. But at that point, I won't give a shit. Outpost nerd, no need to worry. I'm awake in here. Ah, here he comes to save the day. Mighty Mouse is on his way. There you go. You're Mighty Mouse. They used to call me that. All right. So, I am handing you the torch. There, you can be Mighty Mouse. Lady Autumn said, "Grand Rising to Outpost nerd. He wishes he would kill for a Grand Rising, everyone." She said, "Oh, you don't know it's alive." She's all caught up. Lady Awesome, your kids are grown. Your youngest is now 17. Do you want me to commit Harry Carey? Why would you say that to me? It's so hurtful. I'm kidding. But I really, like, I don't want them to grow up. I miss my babies. Best times in my life I spent with my kids when they were little. The wonder, the way they looked at everything, the way everything was, gleeful. And I mean, back then we celebrated everything, not just milestones. We celebrated everything every day, all day, because it was just, especially when I had my son, because I got to spend time one-on-one with him. Like I said, everything brought me joy. And everything brought him joy. I don't have more than 2 pictures of him where he's not like hysterically laughing. He was just a happy baby. I have a couple where he like cried and pouted only because, oh my God, it's so cute. And my mother's like, oh, he got your pout. I don't pout. She's like, yeah, okay. She's like, you pout all the time. I do not. She's like, you do. You don't stomp your foot or anything, but you always pout. She's like, as soon as something goes wrong, you're like, ow. And that bottom lip juts out, and you're just like pathetic. I'm like, thanks, Ma. Love you too. I had to come to terms with my oldest set of twins. 17 years going on 18. Yeah, it's hard, man. So hard. Jacob Pete's howdy nerd, outpost nerd, Mighty Mouse kicked ass. He did kick ass. Missy, hi, honey. Hi, Shelly. So glad you're home. Missed you. Been praying for you. Winning reality. See, you speak his name and he just appears. Hi, everybody. I'll be listening while I work. Well, I mean, you're not going to be listening for long because I'm almost done. I'm tired. I got to go back to bed. Said hey to Mims, and Lady Awesome said hey Mims and Winning Reality. Hey brother at Winning from Jacob Pete's, and Rabbit said hello at Winning Reality. Don't go backwards in the thing because I don't need you to listen to me sing your praises. I do that enough. So you just keep moving it forward, dude. And good morning. See, he gets to deal with all my little idiosyncrasies, all my little quirks where I'm, complete bitch 1 minute and then absolutely fine the next. And he's just like, all right, whatever. Like, just takes it in stride. Like, all right. Doesn't get offended, doesn't hold on to it. He's just like, whatever, you were in a mood. Mimsy said, morning, Lady Autumn Sky. At Winning Reality, at Rabbit, at Jacob Pete's, and all. At all. Yeah. So today should be a fun day. It's Friday, guys. I can't believe it. I can't believe that my son is 17. Oh my God. I really hope that he does better than I did. I really, really hope. I just want him to be happy and be kind. Like, be a decent human. I don't want him to be some piece of shit human. Like, be decent, be good, do the stuff that you need to do in life. Have fun, love people, be loved. Just don't harm anybody. Mimsy said, oh my God, happy 17th, Connor. He wound up with a strawberry shortcake cake, which is delicious, and a cheesecake, which I have not had because my stomach is like, yeah, no cheesecake today. Like, we're just gonna skip that. So I actually told him, I said I might take half that cheesecake and freeze it. He was like, you say that like there's gonna be half a cheesecake left. Nobody's coming over. It's just me, him, and Katie. And he's like, yeah, no, it's my birthday. I'm going to do what I want. Mm-hmm. He's like, you keep taking away my sugar. He's like, I'm eating this. I'm like, all right, fine. And I guarantee he'll get me for like something disgusting for dinner, like Domino's or blech. Because it's not about the price for him. It's about what he enjoys that I hate ordering. And I hate Domino's. I just hate it. It's not a good taste. The prices are ridiculous. Although I have all those coupons, so I always save like 75%. But oh my God, just the fact that my ex-husband is still, or was still, a Domino's pizza delivery man in his fucking 40s and 50s. Dude, give it up. Get a real job. He was just on Twitter. By the way, got my blue check mark back. Thank you very much. I don't know who tried fucking with me on Twitter, but fuck you. I got ahead of you and I got my blue check mark back. And I made them aware that there are liars out there who are gunning for people. So you can suck it. It didn't work. Anyway, but I got my blue check mark back. So that only took 3 days. That's nice. It's nice when I tell them, I've been paying you and you haven't, giving me my check mark in like 2 months, that's theft and, against the law. Funny how they jump right on it and they're like, oh, let me take care of that for you. Oh, thank you. Jacob said, good on the kiddo. He'll do fine if he's anything like you, Shell. He's exactly like me with less emotional baggage. So like he knows all my emotional baggage. So he's already dealt with it. And he's better than me mentally. But did they say why the blue check mark was taken? They wouldn't tell. They said it was an inquiry about my account that caused an investigation. And then they said something about I changed my icon. But I didn't change my icon until the beginning of this week. So the blue check mark was gone long before that. By the way, if you guys didn't see it, my little kitty cat, you see her in the middle? She's so cute. Connor made that for me. I was so happy. And it's so cute because he's like, look, Ma, it's like coming out of the picture. It's like it's more 3D than, anything. He goes, I know it's still 2D, but it's getting there. I'm like, all right. So he's still working on it. So I think it's cute. Lady Awesome, hey, Shelly, a suggestion since you're sleeping better and more often, right before you doze off, when you're in that haze, think about being amazed how healthy you are and try dreaming up your ideal life. You want me to manifest when I'm in the twilight, is what you're telling me, right? Hey, Susie. Let's say she said, wow, I caught a live. It's my first live in weeks. Yay. I mean, by myself. I did the one with winning, but that was mainly like, we watch a movie and then I thought I was just going to let him talk and then I got all emotional. So it was like, and if you didn't catch that, Sunday, was it this Sunday? Days are hard for me. I don't know. When did we do Sound of Freedom? Was it this week or the week before? I think it was this week. Anyway, we did Sound of Freedom on Rumble. And you can go on there onto Winning's site and catch the entire movie. He paid for it. I've given a donation. Do not feel bad about watching it. Go on there, give it a watch. Have a listen to what we say afterwards because it gets super deep, super emotional, super serious. It's rare that you'll ever hear me that serious. Last Sunday. All right. See, he knows better than I. Listen. You're lucky I know today is Friday. Today is Friday, right? Wait, where's my phone? Is today Friday? I think so. I don't know. Anyway, time is just irrelevant anyway. Speaking of time, I hope you guys caught Loki yesterday. It was amazing. I am not giving away any spoilers, but oh my God, it was amazing. Anybody who says Loki sucked can suck my left tit because no. Ahsoka was fantastic. Loki was fantastic. And if people are just jumping on this whole Disney sucks kind of fucking bandwagon, kiss my ass. Those shows were really, really good. Come at me, guys. I'll fight you. I love you, but I'll fight you. Suzanne T3, great news. I had a neighbor stop by and offer us a wood stove with installation to take place this weekend. Oh, that's perfect. Just in time. Oh, that's fantastic. I'm so happy for you. Congratulations on just make sure, you're safe. Like, ventilation and the whole thing. My uncle has a wood burning stove in his dining room. And I mean, it's beautiful. I love, the brick that, it's like a brick dais that it's on top of and everything. But I have burned myself on that goddamn stove so many times, not realizing how hot every single component around it is as well. So just be very, very careful. But yeah, the smell in the house is so amazing from that stove. Like he'll put in like hickory and like all different kinds of wood just to make it a different smell. Oh, I love being in his house when he uses that. Yes, it's Friday. It's Veterans Day. Happy Veterans Day out there to all the veterans. And I know so many. Thank you again for all your service. You do the things I don't want to. You know, you protect the ones I love, you protect me, and you don't get enough credit for your efforts in the past. Every generation of my family has been military in one way or another. If they couldn't serve directly, they went and worked for the government, you know, to do things for the military. Like they were engineers and stuff like that. But yeah, they've all participated in the military in one way or another, but most of them enlisted. My little cousin Jessica, right out of high school, the day after high school, joined the Navy and became squadron leader of the Yellow Jackets. And it was like she was just such a girly girl, and then to picture her, you know, hard as nails and whatever, you know, a pilot, not just a pilot, but squadron leader. I was fucking impressed. Let me tell you, I was impressed. Because to look at her, you'd be like, oh my God, there's this tiny little blonde haired, blue eyed, you know, gorgeous girl who's just, she's dainty and she's tiny and she's soft and she's leading around these, like, you know, freaking squadron of men. She was leader of a squadron of men, and they respected her. She was over in Afghanistan. I used to send her care packages. The thing I sent her the most was when she asked me for flip-flops. And I was like, you want flip-flops? Like, how many flip-flops are we talking? She said, as many as you can send. I was like, for you? She was like, for everybody. She was like, we're each trying to like get stuff that we need. And it doesn't make sense for us to get like individual packages. If we get like a bunch of stuff, then we're able to distribute it amongst each other. And I did. I sent them like 200 fucking pairs of flip-flops because it was the least I could do. And then I went to Carlo's Bakery and asked to have, you know, care packages sent over there with cookies and all kinds of stuff that would last. And he was like, where is this going? And I told him, and he said, this is for who? So I told him like the whole story, and he was like, I got this. And he did. He had them specially wrapped and whatever, and had them transported. And he sent hundreds upon hundreds of dollars worth of baked goods over there. And I didn't pay for any of it. And he was like, it's the least I can do. He was like, I'm glad somebody from this town is, you know, is over there that we could do something for them. I mean, oh God, he made me cry so bad. So even though his, you know, pies taste like crap, cookies are really good, and he's got a really good heart, buddy. So, I mean, you know, you give a little, you take a little. I am so far back. Lady Awesome said, but really imagine in every way, like you'll feel when you are where you want to be. Smell that favorite dish you like to make. Hear the nature that is around you. Really feel all the things. So you want me to like do complete immersion in what I want. Oh, thank you, Suzanne, for wishing Connor a happy birthday. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Okay, I can do that. And I know what you want me to do. It's just I never really do it because I'm afraid to be disappointed. So half the good things I have in my life, I never dreamed of having. Not anymore. Not since I was young. So it's amazing what a little faith can get you. Lady Awesome, that's Suzanne. I like your back to capital letters. Winning said, Suzanne, blew you a kiss. Rabbit, tomorrow I was invited to the Vietnam Veterans Memorial Service. Oh, I hope you're going. I mean, I know you have a lot going on, but it might be nice to take your mind off some stuff and, you know, pay tribute to stuff that you've done, places you've been, to your own service. Let somebody, you know, thank you for a change. Somebody should be thanking you. And now Winning's just Calling out names. Lord. Rabbit, Lass, Mims, Jam. You all got kisses and you got the I love you hand symbol. Jacob Peets. No chance you know what aircraft she operated, right? No, why would I know that? You're lucky I know the name of the squadron or whatever the hell it was called. I know it was a squadron and I know that they were the Yellow Jackets. That's all I know. That's all I know. I didn't like want to have any information on what she was doing because I didn't want to think about it. I couldn't change it. I just say my prayers, keep her safe, send her home. Keep her safe, send her home safe. That was it. That was pretty much the gist of me thinking about her being in the military because she's the only girl in my family that ever did it. And I didn't know what to do with that. You know, that I didn't have prior experience with that. It was just like, oh my God. And she's so much younger than me. You know, I started college 2 weeks after she was born. You know, she was one of the last babies that I held before I had my own. You know, and I didn't get to hold her that long. It wasn't like my cousin Jennifer, her sister. I had Jennifer with me like the whole first 5 years of her life because it was just I just ate her up. She just was, oh, that was my baby. But Jess was different. Jess was always her mom's daughter. You know, she was always about being with her mom. Whereas Jennifer was more, you know, about being with the rest of the family. Jessica was she was a little clingy when it came to her mother. And I think one of the reasons that she joined the military right away is because she wanted to get away for a while. She wanted to be out on her own. She didn't want anybody to think she was weak and had to like stay home and, you know, do the live with mom thing or whatever. And she went out and she got a life of her own. Now she lives in Virginia. She's a nurse. You know, she's got a wonderful husband, but which we didn't know. She just went and got married one day and we knew they were together. They were together for years. He served with her, but we didn't know that they got married. She was like, yeah, I didn't think it was a big idea. Like, I didn't think it was a big deal. We did it just so that we could, you know, like be together on the deed and with the same name and whatever. So it was just like, okay, like you bought a house too? Like anything else you want to tell us? Are you pregnant? She was like, we just adopted another dog. No, like that's her life. She doesn't really want kids. She just doesn't. I guess she didn't like the way she grew up and her mom is gone tragically. You know, and she doesn't want to do it. And her sister doesn't want to either. So for all intents and purposes, my family, you know, that bloodline is going to die out with me and mine. So for all the, she's pregnant. At least, you know, I had the babies. Oh, I had two. That was all you're getting, though. Mimsy, technically tomorrow is Veterans Day, Saturday, but some businesses are closed, stock market, etc. today. Yeah, because they want the holiday. Lady, awesome. Yes, ma'am. Do it every time you're drifting off to sleep. Do it. If it doesn't work, you've lost nothing. That's absolutely true. Absolutely true. And it'll give me something nice to dream about, too, because usually whatever is the last thing on my mind is what I dream about. And lately I've been dreaming in nothing but like weird skits and like I blame winning with the damn clips because that's what I dream. I dream in freaking clips. It's bizarre. Jacob, I'll check into it. EA-18 Growler Yellow Jackets are an electronic warfare unit that operates the F-18 platform specializing in electronic warfare. Kind of dope. Well, see, you could be all proud of her. I was just proud that she was squadron leader. I was like, hey, look at her. I mean, I have somewhere I have pictures of her in the planes, but like, you know, getting everything together or whatever. Some of the pictures of her from Afghanistan really bothered me because it was rough. Like it was rough. Some of the things she had us sending them were like combs, different hair ties because they would go through hundreds of hair ties because she refused to cut her hair. She just wouldn't do it. She looks like Barbie. That's what she looks like. She just looks like a Barbie doll. She's beautiful. She's got the long, flowing beach, fucking blonde hair. She's got, the high cheekbones and the not huge boobs, but I mean, between her mother and her grandmother, she got the big boobs. A lot more than Jennifer did. But she's like a Barbie doll. Whereas Jen was always like the brunette counter whatever. What do they call it? Oh my God, words are failing me. Not counterpart. Anyway, like her co-conspirator. That was Jennifer. Jennifer was always the brunette. She was the darker. She had the brown eyes. She had the, the dark hair. She had the more olive-ish complexion. Not Jessica was the Barbie doll with the platinum blonde hair, the bright blue eyes, and the very white skin with like only a couple freckles here and there. The high cheekbones, and like they're both fucking tall. It drives me insane because they're both taller than me by like 4 or 5 inches. They think it's so funny, and it's not funny. Like it's just not. But I mean, I love my girls. I do. I love my girls. They're very special to me. But Jessica really, like, what she did blew me right out of the water. Like, I could not wrap my head around it. I kept telling my mother, nah, she enlisted? Really? In the Navy? Like, why the Navy? Like, my father was in the Navy. Fuck the Navy. Like, so I have so much animosity toward the Navy. Like my brother was a Marine. My uncle was in the Army. My other uncles, they were all Army, All my cousins, like the male cousins, they were all Marines. Hell, my son's father, Eddie, his brother Danny was a Marine. He left the day after I started college. Another one, he wanted a going away gift, and I was like, are you crazy? So that didn't happen for him. And then I wound up having a kid with his brother. He was bitter, but whatever. He was like, you wouldn't do anything with me, but him you give a fucking baby to. Whatever. But he was a Marine, and he was on the boxing circuit for the Marines. He was on the boxing team. He was really good. And it was just, it was a big thing. But I mean, they've all been in the military in one way or another. It's just, I think the majority of them were Marines. And right behind that was Army. We didn't have any Air Force. No Air Force, which is weird. Mimsy said, I love that way of thinking at Lady Autumn Sky. Well, that's what she does. For great sleep, check out Lady Autumn Sky's videos. Yes, you have to check out her. I think they're, what did I used to call them? The black screens, because it's all sound. You don't have to look at anything. There's no temptation to look at something. You just listen and you just fade off into nature. She said, you have a great imagination. I'm sure you can dream up a wonderful life. I've always been afraid to dream up a wonderful life because it's been my experience where the universe goes, this is what you want. I'm going to put you as far from it as possible. I'm going to make sure you never get this stuff. So I've been yelled at many times for the way I fuck with the universe and let the universe fuck with me. So I'm willing to try anything, honey. I will give it my all. And thank you for the suggestion, because I should have been doing that all along. You're not the only one who's trying to push me into manifesting. It's just popping up everywhere, just in the weirdest places, just little articles and videos on how to, and this is what God has put in front of you. And, you need to manifest around it, build on it, and whatever. Everything keeps pointing me in the right direction. I'm just so reluctant to just do it, but I will because you told me to. And I know that you're only looking out for me. So I will try that. I will do that. Okay. There's do or do not. There is no try. So I will do that. Okay. I don't want to, be trepidatious. I will do that. Mimsy, my bro is a commander in the Navy. My dad was Army. Navy's not a Jacob said Navy's not a bad branch, even if the seaman gets a little lonely on those votes. Oh, yeah. I'm not going there. Rabbit, my whole family was Marine or Air Force. I was the black sheep by being Army. Ooh, you were a rebel. Oof. Oof. See, she was a rebel by going into the Navy. Because we were all just like, what? Especially since she knew that my father was Navy. And she knew that it was like a thing where we were just like nobody went into the Navy. And she was like, yeah, join the Navy. What the fuck did you do that for? She was like, number one, because my training is on the other side of the country away from all you people. That was what she enjoyed the most, that she had to go all the friggin' way out, I think, to Seattle. I don't know. She was out there. I think it was Seattle. But I mean, that's where her training was, like around there. And she stayed out there for 2 years doing special training. And then they sent her to Afghanistan for, I want to say 3 years. I don't remember if it was 2 tours or if it was just a 3-year stint, but I know I sent her stuff for 3 years. Rabbit said, I couldn't swim, so Army was it. What does swimming have to? What do you mean you can't swim? You mean tell me that there are people in the Army who can't swim? Why? Is that because they're supposed to be ground forces? I mean, the Army does, do water landings. Or they didn't they? Or didn't they? Maybe they were Marines. I don't know. I don't really check into what branches of what do what parts in what battles in what wars. I just look and go, I never want to live through something like that. I never want to go through some type of weird ass world war. And sure enough, here we go. Can't swim. Why can't you swim? You just never learned, or because there are some people who literally cannot learn to swim. I don't know if it's a mindset or whatever. Their bodies just like Katie. Katie sinks. We have to put like tons of floaties on Katie. Marines are the amphibious branch, as long as they're not gay amphibious. Lady Autumn Sky. If you have any questions or you just want to talk about it, reach out to me. I'm on Discord. Oh, I absolutely will. You know I will if I have questions. But I have been watching more and more videos on it. I like to research things before I do them. And I've been looking into it. And I've also been researching, what religious people have to say about manifesting and what the Bible says about it. And it's actually like it's promoted throughout the Bible to envision a better world, to envision things, but they do it on more of an altruistic type level. And I already take care of people. I need the universe to take care of me a little bit. So yeah, I'm going to have to start manifesting for myself instead of always trying to do it for other people. Not give one up for the other, but incorporate it. Rabbit said, I swim like a brick. Yep, that's Katie. Swear to God, the minute she gets in that water, it's like, I'm like, oh Lord, there she goes. Somebody go grab her. It's so different than me. Even my son, like he's a huge kid, but he gets in that water and he's like a fucking fish. You put me in water, don't ever try to fucking catch me. I'm gone. Bye. I'm under the water doing all sorts of like tricks and whatever because I just love the water. I wish we had a fucking pool here. I would live in that bitch. That's all I would do is just swim nonstop because I love the water. Nothing hurts when you're in the water. She said, haha, but you kick ours, rabbit. You do that. Yes, you do. And I guess it's easier to kick everybody's ass when you're on land. So that's where you're meant to be. Rabbits don't do well in the water. I want to. I got to see if I can. Where is this? Cute. Is this it? No. Where are my damn useless crap? Picks, podcast, T3 brand. I got to see if it's in my. Is it in my downloads? Yes, it is. All right. So, because I promised you, I promised you that I was going to show you this, rabbit. I'm going to share my screen. Lord. Let's see. Can you see it? There you go, rabbit. I was a rabbit. I was. Maybe that's me at 2 years old in my little rabbit costume. And let's see, what else do I have? Damn it. Here we go. And that's me giving love into a rabbit because, I loved rabbits. And I just thought they were so cute because I was just like, oh, yep, that's me at 2. So I was a rabbit. And even then, give deference to the rabbits. So I was also a fisherman, though. So there you go. I wanted to show you that because my aunt kept all those pictures. And when I came home from the hospital, it's the first thing I saw. There was just a huge pile of pictures that my mother dropped off. And on top was me as a rabbit. And I was like, oh my God, I got to show rabbit. So I knew you were one of mine. Yeah, no, every year. And I had that rabbit, that blow up rabbit. I had that until I was like a teenager. And then it went the way of the dodo when our basement flooded and everything got ruined. It was just like, oh no. But yeah, I had that for years. My grandmother patched that poor thing so many times. They tried to get rid of it and get me a new one. And I cried. Oh my God, I cried because that was my rabbit. I was very attached to that rabbit. Lady Autumn said, oh no, at rabbit, I took swimming lessons when I was a little kid and they kicked me out and said I already know how they say it was a waste of money. Inya, oh my God, I missed 2 hours. Those are so cute. Thank you very much. Yeah, you can't imagine the friggin' pictures that were in there. Oh my God. I sent some of them to like Winning and T-Rex. I was like, look, that's my living room. Look at the plastic on the couches. Look at it. I grew up in a guinea house. Like, I mean, my whole house was like huge drapes, plastic on the friggin' on every piece of furniture. Don't think even the kitchen chairs suffered the fucking plastic because they didn't put it on the backs of the chairs. Thank God. Like some of my friends, families did, but my grandmother had it fitted around the padded seat and had the seats taken off, wrapped and put back on, like reinstalled. But I cannot remember ever sitting on something that didn't make noise. Like you sat down, it was like, because all the air would go out and it'd be like, are you kidding? And then when you get up, it's like, because you're stuck to it. In the wintertime, it's freezing. You're just like, oh God, I don't want to sit in this chair. And then in the summertime, you're just like, ugh, I don't want to sit in this chair because it would get all sweaty on the backs of your legs and you just slide right off the chair. Because, of course, my feet don't reach the ground. So it's whoop, right off. Mimsy, my younger sister, died of cancer. Her nickname was Bunny. Aw, every time I see a bunny, I feel like she's visiting me. Oh my goodness. Well, that was 2 bunnies. So she visited you double today. Oh, that made my heart really happy. In your MERS, I'll probably be lurking. I have so much to do. I'm not going to be on here much longer. I can't talk the way I've been in the past. Not right yet. My brain is fine. It's my body is tired. I'm just very, very tired. Mimsy said, I believe that, Shelley. I mean, I believe that those that have passed, they visit us all the time. All the time. I'm pretty sure that my grandmother was in that hospital with me when that lady tried to attack me because I did not feel panicked at all. All I thought was pick that laptop up and beat that bitch in the head with it if she comes near you. And that came to me very calmly and very directly. And that was very much my grandmother. She never got like, oh my God, like my mother. She never got like that. She'd just be like, just hit her. It was just deadpan answer. Boom. Here's your solution. I don't want to hear your bullshit. Just go do it and take care of it and stop. Like that was it. She didn't have time to waste. She had shit to do. Yes, take care of yourself and rest when you can. I am definitely doing that. I've been told, you go rest and stop being such a bitch, because I get very bitchy when I'm tired. Very bitchy. Some people get hangry. I get cranky tired. I was definitely that kid who, when I couldn't sleep, you were just like, oh God, somebody give this kid whiskey, please. Just so she goes the fuck to sleep and shuts up. Because one, I talk at 9,000 miles an hour. I have no clue what I'm talking about. I'll just gibberish the whole fucking time. And then I get really nasty. Like everything you say, I'll be offended. Whereas normally I don't really get offended by shit. I'm just like, oh, fuck you. But no, when I'm tired, everything bothers me. Everything. You could be the nicest person in the world. I will snap at you like a gator going for friggin' Steve Irwin. Just, Lord. It's just like the whole friggin' time. I'm worse than a chihuahua when I'm tired. Just, oh my goodness. Just cranky and loud and bitey and just, ugh, I don't like it. I don't like being like that. Mimsy said, ha, me too, Shelly. I was so grumpy when tired, to put it nicely. Yeah, no, the other night I was just a raving bitch. Lord. Like, it was just, and I went to bed mad and I woke up mad and I stayed mad. And it was just like, what was your problem? You know what my problem was? And then I was fine. I was absolutely fine because I'm not used to keeping things in anymore. So now when I don't say what's immediately bothering me, it festers really, really quickly. And it gets bigger and bigger and bigger until it's overwhelming to me. And then I overreact. And I can't handle it in that moment. But once I get it out, I realize, okay, it's not as dire as you fucking thought it was. It's not as big as you thought it was. God, the jokes are endless there. But on that note, might as well just end on it's not as big as you thought it was. Because why not? That's me. I just want to once again wish my baby a happy 17th birthday. I can't believe he's 17. God, I feel so old. I'm not getting older. He's getting older. Like I told my daughter once when she was like, I can't wait to get another year older. I was like, you need to stop. And she was like, why? I said, because you're all getting old and you're just fucking dragging me with you. Like, leave me alone. I don't want to have more birthdays. I just have anniversaries of my 21st birthday. Leave me alone. Like they're making, I can't say that when they're older than that. So like, how old are you? I've been 21 for 28 years. I've been 21 for 28 years with a 28-year-old child and a 17-year-old child. I can't believe they're grown. I mean, yeah, he's still got another year before he's technically an adult, but if something were to happen to me, I think he'd be okay. He might struggle a little bit, but nothing like I thought he would. I think he'll be okay. And I think he'll take care of his sister. They fight and everything, but when I wasn't here, they took care of one another. They banded together and got shit done. I'm very proud of how they were while I was in the hospital. So Mimsy said, have a great day with Connor and take good care. Love you. I love you guys too. I love you, Mims. Take care of yourself. Rabbit, Lady Awesome, Inya, Jacob, Winning. All my babies. All my babies. I love y'all. I've missed you guys. I am going to go and take a nap. And then hopefully when he wakes up, he'll watch a movie with me. Because I need some Connor time. And I don't get it that often. So I will rest. And then when I get up, I can have coffee. Yay! So everybody, thank you so much for, attending my maiden voyage after coming home. So I'll be doing another thing on Monday. And don't forget, Jesus Christ, what is that cat doing? She's knocking shit over. Saturday night, Winning Reality has MLS, who used to be MLS Law. Now he's Law Made Simple or Made, I don't know. MSL or MLS. I forget his name. You know who it is. It's David. What? Everybody knows his name. So he's going to be doing an interview with him, talking with him, hanging out on Saturday night. Make sure you come by for that. And then Sunday night, you have the old school watch party with Winning and I. And this week we'll be doing The Trap. Look at that. I actually knew what we were talking about. I've never seen the documentary. I've never seen the movie, whatever it is. He highly recommends it. So that's what we'll be watching. And I'll be learning the same time as you. What did she put? Lady Awesome said, making law simple, MLS, aka David. See, there you go. Thank you. Making law simple. It is what it is. Like, I can't wait because I don't know a whole lot about him. I really don't. The only law person that I know with the M in it is the MG Law, and that's because I really like his cat. I really adore his cat. So it's Agamotto. But yeah. Make sure you come by Saturday night to see him on Winning's channel, and then on Winning's channel on Sunday so that we can watch The Trap together and then talk about it. That should be fun. I know Jacob will be there in the chat, ready to come at me with anything he can. So I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be exciting. So I will see you guys there. Thank you once again for showing up here, for all the love, and I will see you in the funny papers. I'm doing my intro as an outro because I like it and I missed it. Love you guys. Mwah.
Good luck. We're all counting on you.
Jersey girl, I know that you're a Jersey girl inside. 4 a.m. at a diner, stop singing, living on a
And doggone it, people like me.
I'm thinking maybe you're a Jersey girl with all those highlights in your hair. No other girl can move like you. We pump our fists, damn right, it's true. And I don't care what they might say, they'll never get us anyway. So be my Jersey girl, and take a little ride with me tonight. met a girl from Jersey. She was looking so fine with her hips so curvy. I wanna over down and see side lights and a boardwalk fight at the end of the night. Hey, hold up, got a situation, got a conversation from the girl's gyration. She's hot like the girl next door with a tig gold bitties that I can't